I'm finally going back on a vacation again. And while packing my camera gear, I thought, oh wow, I haven't done this in quite a while. So I thought I'll make a video for you guys on what should be in your vacation photography bag and what to leave at home, how to organize your bag, and maybe a few tips and tricks you didn't know already. With that said, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If not, let me know in the comments down below what I can improve. And if you want to see more of this type of content, smash that subscribe button and set the bell. Let's get started. So, first of all, we have to separate. The gear I would be taking on a weekend trip would be quite different from the stuff I would be packing for a week or two. And second, am I traveling by plane or by car? So is space an issue or not? For the purpose of this video, I'll be focusing on packing for a longer trip and traveling by plane, as I'm flying to Greece in 2 days now. So first of all, we have to think about in what bag we want to transport our gear. I always pack my gear as a carry-on bag and take it with me in the cabin of the plane. Camera equipment is just too valuable and too fragile to be thrown around and maybe risk losing. So you need a camera bag. I personally go for backpacks. Usually, my camera gear always lives in my Low Pro ProTactic BP 450 AW2. It's a mouthful. Great product name. Well, I absolutely love this bag. I would only use it for traveling when I go to dedicated photography or videography gigs. When I'm traveling with friends and family, I want a backpack that can do both. Carry my camera and some gear, as well as some water, sunscreen, and maybe some stuff for my baby. So my bag of choice is the Peak Design Everyday Pack 30 liters. There we go. I absolutely love this bag. But let's not talk too much about camera bags because that would be a separate video of its own. So what gear should you take with you as a hobby or more semi-professional photographer? First, of course, your camera. No brainer. I personally use a Canon EOS R, and that's the camera we're recording on right now. So for this camera video purpose, I'll have my, just lost my lens cap, my Canon 6D. For traveling, I usually leave my battery grip at home as it just adds too much bulk and weight to the camera, even though I absolutely love having a vertical shutter button, very helpful. Now let's talk lenses. This will probably vary since that depends on what you shoot and what your style is. For me, I would always pack a wider angle lens. For cities, a 16 to 35mm is great. I only have a 24 to 70 f2.8, which is perfect all-rounder in my mind. It can do cities, portraits, and has some compression at 70mm at 2.8. And you still get a fair amount of light. If you don't have a fancy zoom lens, pack your 18 to 55 kit lens or even your 18 to 105. Those can do great in perfect lighting conditions, and always keep in mind, these are just tools. The photographer takes the photo in the end. Then, next up, a no-brainer in my mind. A nifty 50. A 50mm f1.8. It's cheap, it fits on APS-C, and full-frame cameras is really sharp for the price, and you can throw that on a camera if you're afraid of getting dirt, sand on your lens, or just want a lighter camera for moving around the city or going up a mountain. Next up, I would usually pack a dedicated portrait lens. For me, that would be the 135mm f2.0. I love this lens for portraits. The bokeh is really, really nice and fits the shooting style I have. And for me, these three lenses right here are pretty much enough for going on a trip like this. Some people would like to pack a proper zoom lens, a 70 to 100, but that's just unnecessary weight for what I shoot. That might be different for you. Next up, batteries. I normally pack only 2 batteries. I never run through 2 batteries with only photos in one day. This may vary if you don't have the opportunity to charge your batteries every night while camping or something like that. So, oh yeah, don't forget your charger. And here's my next tip. Pack all the batteries you are traveling with in a plastic zip bag. Place it on the top of your pack, and when going through security, you only have to pull out your battery zippy bag and place it on the tray. So you don't have to go through all your gear and pull out every batteries. Now let's talk accessories. Tripod. That depends on your preference. If I would take one, I would take this Manfrotto. Put it in my checked luggage. If you're thinking about taking a tripod, you're probably thinking about taking long exposures. So maybe consider of packing an ND filter to get those dreamy, smooth waves at the beach and whatever. Small tip right here, to save some money, buy a bigger ND filter, and then if it doesn't fit on your lens, buy these step-down rings so you can adapt them to your smaller lenses. So, very important, SD cards. Take a few. For me personally, I put them in this waterproof carrying case, and I would change around the SD cards every now and then. So if one of the batteries, one of the SD cards gets corrupted, I don't lose all my data, since I only have one single SD card slot in my camera. And now camera strap. This is a personal choice. Some like the big Sun Sniper camera straps, really comfortable, but I only really use these for like weddings or on a racetrack where I would be running around with the camera all day. Some like these small wrist straps. You can put them around the camera on one side, have it around your wrist, and you can't drop your camera, or it's a bit harder to get it stolen. I usually have that in my bag since it's just so small and doesn't take up a lot of space. But I personally, for this trip, will be taking just a normal camera sling or strap from, this is also from Peak Design. Whenever I'm walking around and I don't want to carry my camera, it's good to have that with you. The next item I really love and saved me a lot of times, my little cable bag. It has everything in here you need to charge electric devices. So of course I have a power bank in here and all the cables you'll probably be needing. I got some wall adapters, the cables, some headphones, SD card adapters, and like audio dongles and stuff like that. So if you have this bag with you, you know you can nearly charge everything. It's really nice to know you got everything there you need. And this also is quite important. Well, not important, but good to have with you. This is like a small camera cleaning kit. You got like this little squishy to blow some air on lenses to get dust off, and you got like these alcohol wet wipes to get smudges off your lens if you've got some sunscreen or whatever on your lens. Really, really cool to have that with you once you get something dirty. And last but not least, I would usually pack either an iPad or a laptop, depending on how long I'm traveling and how fast I want photos to be edited. This time I will be probably taking my laptop, since it's just nicer to edit the photos on a bigger screen. And that pretty much rounds up the kit I will be carrying. And lastly, you maybe should think about insurance. Depending on the gear you have, you could be carrying around a very, very expensive backpack. And depending on where you are going, the risk of getting robbed or falling into water could be considerable. And that brings me to my last tip. Going out exploring, carry only as much stuff as you really need. The bag can get very, very heavy after a few hours running around the city or climbing up a mountain. And you can lose less if you carry less. It can be fun restricting yourself only to one lens going out on a trip, and try to make it work only having one focal length. It has a nice creative challenge. And with that said, let me know if I forgot something, and have a nice vacation wherever you're going. See ya!